ready?
Yep.
Very good. Last night, or early this morning, there were 2 JSO officers working here at the club Aqua in an off-duty capacity. It had actually been a busy night at the club with several fights inside and issues that required police activity both outside and inside. At closing time, when the officers were in front of the business, there was some talk among the people in the front of the business about somebody going to the parking lot and arming themselves with a gun. At that point in time, one of the 2 JSO officers armed himself with his department-issued rifle. About the same time, the officers started clearing the parking lot of the patrons who were actually standing around in the parking lot. 2 people came up and told that officer that there was an individual in the parking lot who was indeed armed with a gun. Gave a description of the man, and the officer looked up and indeed saw the described person did have a handgun in his hand, and he was walking towards the open business. When he saw that subject, he confronted him. He gave him repeated commands to stop, drop the gun. The subject refused every command that he gave him to drop the gun and comply with the officer's orders. The officer opened fire, fired repeatedly at the subject, striking him. The subject was killed, fell at the scene. As his body fell, a firearm was discovered on his person. There was some collateral damage to some of the other businesses with some broken glass from the shots being fired. The identity of the subject is still being looked into. At 1:30 this afternoon, I'll hold a follow-up press conference identifying the subject, identifying the officers involved, and provide a picture of the handgun that was involved in the case. I can answer a few questions if there are any.
Any questions?
What type of rifle was it again?
The departmental issue rifle was AR-15.
And you said that they were working security?
The 2 officers were working in an off-duty capacity, secondary employment being paid by Club Aqua.
Were they in uniform at the time?
They're in full uniform.
And the business was open at the time?
The business was actually open, however, it was after 2 o'clock in the morning. This was around 2:10 when the shots actually were fired. So the business closes at 2. They had last call, had worked to escort everybody out. So there was quite a few people in the parking lot. Almost the entire contents of the business, a couple hundred people were probably in the parking lot milling about at the time when this happened. So, not only is the officer concerned for his own safety, but the man's walking back towards the front of the business with several hundred people in the parking lot. So
any other questions?
With that many people in the parking lot, was anyone else in actually any danger?
Well, you have a man armed with a gun walking through the parking lot, so I wouldn't suppose, how bad that could turn out. So,
what is the sheriff's department's policy when an officer is involved in a shooting like this? What normally happens?
The officers are actually placed on administrative leave, which is standard protocol for this. That has happened in this case. The officers are off the street now on administrative leave.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
1:30. Thank you all.
Thank you.